Hi, and welcome back. So today, as you saw in the thumbnail, we're going to review this 3D print I did. I'm going to tell you all about it, give you as much info as I can. So if you want, you can recreate this. There's a cool surprise with it that I'm going to show you. It is awesome. Obviously, it is a T-800 skull. It's totally cool. This thing is awesome. So I'm going to turn the camera around, give you a closer up view of it, show you it, tell you the details about how I did it, what I did, how I modified this a little bit, where you can get the files, and yeah, so let's get right into it. Okay, so this is a T-800 model from the Bambu Studio app. So if you have Bambu printer, I don't know if it's available anywhere else, but you can Google it. But it's the one that says it has the pass-through for the eyes to wire them up. Because yes, I wired this up. Oops, I don't want to, hang on. I put in a switch, and yes, the eyes light up. This thing was awesome. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about it. So what I did, I have the AMS system, and as you can see, I chose to print the teeth. I used bone white, and I think it looks awesome. I just painted it in the Bambu Studio app. I used a silver silk filament. Now, I did get some of this on the top. I'm sure there's ways to get rid of it, but you know what? You don't notice it when it's on display. I don't really care too much about that. I think this thing came out awesome. Now, in the STL and in the description, they tell you to do not print it with supports, right? Well, I did print it with supports because I thought, look at under here and all this. I said, I'm going to need supports. So and you print the skull by itself. So I printed it, and it puts supports inside the holes, which go in, and then they go down into a big, to here, into the spinal column. So that was not a good thing, but I was able to clear them out. Not that huge of a deal. And then they give you two choices of a base. You can print a one-piece base, which is a little shorter, or this base, which is two pieces, which is the base and then this top here where you attach the skull, or you just attach the skull. I like this one because the other one didn't have a bottom. This one has a bottom. So I like this one better. Now, I did run into a couple issues, which I want to show you that you can avoid. Mine is not perfect, but let me go over the pluses. So the one thing is they give you this spot where the battery pack can pull out. It uses 3 AA's that I wired this up, and then you can change the batteries. There's no door. I'm going to show you how I wired it. But what I did, I added a hole. I just took, and you can see this, I'm going to explain that. I just took a negative cylinder and made a hole. The problem is I clearly made the hole too small because when I tried to jam the switch in, it cracked in the layer line. So I'm probably going to have to reprint this base and make a bigger hole. That was a mod I did, but it's fine for now. I don't know that I'm going to bother reprinting it because it works. It looks awesome. I mean, this thing is totally cool. I love it, right? But let me show you how I wired it up. So this top kind of snaps on, and all you do, let me take this out, it's very simple. You feed the wires from the LEDs, and the skull glues onto this, okay? Each LED requires a resistor because otherwise they're going to try and pull full voltage, and the LEDs are going to burn out quickly, not last. So you need a resistor for each one. You can join them and run them into the one positive. Then you just run the positive through your switch, and your positive and negative go to your battery pack. I mean, it's super easy to wire up. Both negatives go to the one negative. I mean, this thing is really, really easy to wire up. The resistors, you can just go Google LED resistor calculator, and basically you have to know, you look at the power consumption of your LEDs, the amount of power in your power pack, and then you do a calculation. I don't remember what I believe these are 125 ohm resistors based on these LEDs. Now, I wanted to say, these are 5mm LEDs. They fit perfectly into the sockets. I did put a tiny drop of crazy glue just because I didn't want them to fall through and be stuck in there if they get bumped. So I did put a tiny, you can't even see it. I put a tiny bit of glue. And so you don't need transparent red filament. You don't need to print any like lenses with this one. To me, at least to me, I think it looks great as it is. I think it looks cool off. I think it looks amazing on. I mean, it looks crazy good. They light up nice and bright, and I love what I did about painting this bone white on the teeth. I think it looks really good. But again, it's easy to do. I like the way it was designed, that they designed this. I'm just gonna kind of make my wires a little neat in here, and you just tuck them in. It's because you don't want to pinch anything. And then this top, the top with the head, you just snaps on. And there you go. So yeah, so super simple. You can get this model as is on the Bambu website or the Bambu Handy app. And again, I needed a bigger, this is like a 14, I used a caliper and it was 14 millimeter, the switch. So I made a 14 millimeter hole. I probably should have made 15 or 16 and then just crazy glued it so it had plenty of room. So just use that. But when I pushed it in, it did crack, but I mean, it's not coming apart. Well, it is eventually, but it seems okay for now, and it works. And all I'm going to do is put this on a shelf. So to me, I'm not going to bother really wasting the time to reprint it, I don't think, because this bottom part took like 12 hours because I printed it multicolor. I did run into an issue. You can see this little spot here, this line across, because what happened was this is G-Tech filament, the silver. And what happened was I printed the skull and it printed fine in one, with this, it mixed it in, it did it perfect with the supports. I didn't have an issue. When I went to print this, I got a jam message. I'm like, what the heck? I went to look, and then I realized the G-Tech spool had fallen off because the hole is bigger. It really doesn't fit. It did not fall off the whole time I printed the skull at all. It did not fall off. It did fall off when I was doing this because it kept switching more than it, although it switched a lot for this. I don't know. So just keep that in mind. So that's why this happened. I am going to print. They make an adapter for G-Tech spools, which I'm going to print out so that this doesn't happen again, and I can reuse this filament more. If I do want to reprint the bottom and avoid that line and not have a crack, I could do that. But like I said, I don't know that I want to bother because it's fine for me. It goes up on a shelf. No one's looking at the side. But it looks awesome. I think this thing came out great. I think it looks awesome. I mean, it is totally, totally cool. I mean, it's just a great 3D print to make. It was super easy to wire up. I got all the parts on Amazon. So you know what? I'll put links in the description for the parts on Amazon for the LEDs, the resistors, the battery pack. I even bought red and black wire and heat shrink tubing. So I'll put links for all of that in the description if you want to do this, so you'll have the exact stuff. And then all I did was I soldered the LEDs to the ends of the wire. Make sure LEDs are polarized, or polar, I guess it's called. So you got to make sure that the positive terminal is the longer wire on the LED that goes to the red wire, and test it before you solder everything up, because otherwise once it's all in here, it's too late and they won't work if they're backwards. I mean, you could fix it at the battery end, but you'd have the wrong color wires in the wrong place. But yeah, and then I also went with actually red LEDs. They make LEDs that were clear, but light up red, but then you wouldn't look red when it's off. So that's why I went with these. So what I did, I just wired the LED or soldered the LEDs, heat shrink them, and then you had 2 wires for each that you feed through. You have to be patient feeding them through. Again, maybe it'll be easier if you print it without supports, but again, I didn't try, so I don't know how well it'll work without supports. I mean, I did print supports. They say don't, so maybe it will work fine without them, but I use supports, so that's at your own risk how that works. But so I did have to poke out, like I said, some stuff in there, which was a pain, but you wire the wire through, it comes out through here, and this is a really big hole in the bottom of the neck. And so you can see where the wires poke through, you know, up at the top if you look in. And then this top has a very small hole where you feed it. And it does have little alignment pieces here and here where you align this. It doesn't align perfect. You got to be careful, like it doesn't lock in. And I just put a little glue around them and then under this and under this section. And that was it. And I glued it on with crazy glue. I just used crazy glue. Again, I didn't do any strength tests, so don't quote me on the crazy glue. It works, so that's what I use. And it worked fine. And yeah, I think it looks awesome. I think it's an awesome looking, super cool print. Again, I'll put links in the description for all the electronic pieces I purchased. But yeah, so try it out, print it out. It's cool, it's awesome. You can make one too, and there you go. So there you go, the T-800. It is awesome, a very, very cool print. I think, you know, it's easy to do. Everyone should do it. It looks awesome. And yeah, so thanks again for watching. Thanks for subscribing. If you haven't yet, click that subscribe button. And in my next video, I'll be back.